long does it take normally? Because for me, this is obviously someone who hasn't seen the industry that much, obviously, and this is moving at a really quick pace.
This is not usual, this process.
Okay, right.
Because what we're doing is we're remounting a production that already exists. But when I first did this production, I kind of did this because it was absolutely, because of the type of script it was absolutely impossible to say, you know, how a scene could work without giving it some kind of physical shape or physical structure on set. Except the first time I did it, I didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of drawing it as I was going along. Okay. Well, this time I know how to draw it. I've just got to, you know, get them to sort of fill in the colours. It is always in British theatre, unless you're working at one of the really big companies, a very quick process.
Okay.
Usually we have 4 weeks.
Right.
So usually we have an extra week because it's a new play, and therefore you are working on the script as well as putting it up on its feet. You kind of have to do a lot of things at the same time. So you have to do your textual analysis, your understanding of the text, building your character, and finding the physical language of it, or blocking, all at the same time. And what I like to do is basically throw it on its feet and then shape it from there. So my first week and a half will always be get it up on its feet so the actors feel that they've got it off the page at least. And then when we go back over it again, I always go over a play at least twice. When we go back over it again, we'll know the beats, we'll know what's happening, we'll have a rough idea of the characters, and then we'll change things as we need to. And then in the runs, which is the third phase of the rehearsal process, you then do much more detail. So
you're touring this play.
Yeah.
Are you constantly making changes? What works in different spaces?
No, because as you can see, it's a 5 by 5 metre space, playing space. So the space for the actors always remains the same.
Okay.
So the only thing they might have to adjust is whether it's on 3 sides or whether it's end on.
All right.
So, which just means they just have to twist their bodies a little bit.
Is it still growing though, sort of like?
It will always grow. It will grow, I think, up until about halfway through the tour, and then that's actually when you need to come in and maintain it, because then little lazy things happen, you know, little shortcuts are made, it gets a little bit, you know, blurry, and really that's when I need to come back and go, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, remember this kind of thing. And that's kind of typical for most directors when they do a show, is that they come back and they kind of like look after it for a performance or two.
So how long before you expect them to be off script? Would you say it's within the first week or?
No, I think I expect them to be off script by the time we get to the end of the play. So we won't be at the end of the play by the end of tomorrow, unfortunately.
Okay.
But that's all right, because we've only been at it 2 days.
Yeah.
I would probably say, right from next Wednesday, I don't want to see a script.
Okay.
Certainly in the 3rd week of rehearsals, if there is a script on set, I will be livid.
Okay.
But they don't know that yet. I'll tell them that.
Yeah.
But they're doing really well, so I haven't got any worries.
Well, thank you very much for answering my questions.
That's
It's been really, really interesting.